Hi, this is your girl Diamond, and this week's topic is self-medicating. Okay, being your own quack. Well, before I start talking about me, I want to say that we all know that going to a medical professional is the right way to go because they have the credentials and the experience to know what they are doing. So going to an endocrinologist and going to, someone in the field is the best way to go when you're starting your transition and getting on hormones and stuff like that. For me, I have been self-medicating for my whole transition. One strategy that I use is that I would underdo whatever somebody else was being prescribed by a doctor. So I would never go overboard. I'm not the type that, will just pop pills and take shots and, just because I think more estrogen in my body makes me more feminine. Actually, that does the opposite. So I do things that work for me. If there's, I kind of try to gauge it from my body's reaction to it. If my nipples start to get tender, if they start to get tender, then I'm like, it's working. I know that it's working. If I don't feel anything, then I know it's not working. You know what I'm saying? Because the physical changes that hormones brings you, you feel them. You feel the softness in your skin. You feel the softness in your breast, in your legs, and you start to see certain things. So that's what works for me. Why I did not go the medical route, first of all, it's financial reason. I didn't have health insurance. I didn't have a job. I didn't have all of these things that I needed to establish that. So, but I still had the desire to transition. I was too young to go to anybody's doctor when I first started. I was only 15 or 16 when I got on hormones. And, my doctor, the funny thing is that the hormone doctor lives like a block away from me. And I looked him up and he lived a block away from me and I went to his, he had a house, his practice was out of his house. And I went to his house and I lied on the filling out the paper and lied and said that I was 19. And I gave him my visiting fee and he wrote me a prescription for my estradiol. And I went right across the street and went to Walgreens and filled out my prescription and went home and that was it. That was my start of self-medicating. One thing that as I got older I started to see with other girls is that they would go to doctors and these doctors would not condone their transition. And because they would want the money, they would take their money for the visit, but they would start them off on low little prescription of, dosage of estrogen when it's too low. You know what I'm saying? It's too little. Well, we're just going to try you out like this. It's like they're not as serious about your transition as you are. So therefore they feel like, they'll say stuff like, well, we don't know if you're going to change your mind about being a woman. And so we're going to start you off like this. And you know what I'm saying? They are not as serious about your transition as you are. So therefore, for me, when I see this, I wanted to avoid that. I go and buy my hormone shots. I only take one shot a month. I don't take them every week, every 2 weeks. I take one shot a month. And then I get a pill like Premarin or estradiol, some type of pill just to balance me out. And I take a shot a month and then I take a pill a day. One small little pill, not 4 and 5, one small little pill a day, and then just at the low doses, and then I take the shot a month. So that's what worked for me. It changed my whole look, changed my whole body. That's what worked for me, and I haven't had any complications. So for myself, I condone self-medicating, but for someone else, I say go the route, go to the doctor. Some people are not as gung-ho as I am about my transition. So I'm willing to take certain risks that you may not be. And that is my opinion on self-medicating.